everybody. Welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. I'm Banjo Ben, your host here on the site that teaches you how to play guitar and mandolin. This week is Banjo Week. Several weeks ago, I exchanged emails with a guy asking some interesting questions regarding the pentatonic scale and banjo. And I have to be honest, it got me to thinking about some things that I hadn't thought about before. And when I think about the pentatonic scale, it's usually in the context of guitar and mandolin and not so much banjo. And I got to thinking why. And then I realized that we use pentatonic scales all the time on banjo. Okay, fast forward a few weeks later, I'm having a camp at my house. I'm teaching a student, Doug Richardson, and I'm giving him a little backup lesson on a little cabin on the hill. And I'm showing him this little lick that would sound like this. And I'm showing him how you can move that pattern around. And I got to thinking, all I'm using is the descending pentatonic scale. So once we understand the theory behind that, it opens up a whole world of some backup licks that we can use. And it doesn't matter what key we're in, doesn't matter what chord we're up against. We can use these licks, and I want to teach that to you. So if you're watching here on the website, BanjoBenClark.com, as a GoPick member, you have everything you need. Just scroll down, download the 2 tabs. We're going to overview the licks, and we also have an exercise that's going to work these things out. Don't forget the Jam Track MP3s. If you're watching somewhere else, you're welcome to come over to the site, BanjoBenClark.com. Have access to this lesson and hundreds more if you become a GoPick member. Let's jump in. Let's spend some time covering the theory behind the pentatonic scale. I think this is very important. If you don't want to cover the theory, you're welcome as a GoPick member to skip down to the next videos that talk about the licks and the exercises. But I encourage you to learn the theory because it's going to allow you to use this knowledge for your own benefit on demand when you really need it. When you're playing songs that maybe you've never heard before, you need licks that you've never played. We need to have this kind of knowledge. Now, what is that pentatonic scale? Well, it's simply an abbreviated major scale. A major scale has 7 tones in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it starts over again. A pentatonic just takes 5 of those notes. 5 very common notes, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, the 5th, and the 6th tone. And we see so many licks that are made out of that. For instance, if you watch my Boogie Woogie Backup, we cover the pentatonic scale in there, even if we don't use that word. Those are all pentatonic scale notes. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 3, 5. Okay, and also just a regular old G lick. That's made up of pentatonic scale notes. So we hear this all the time, although with banjo, we don't think about it that often in those terms because we're thinking positions and we're thinking licks. So I just invite us over to look at the theory side of it, and that way we can take it and use it however we want. Now, let's check out what a major scale looks like, particularly a descending major scale, because with the Boogie Woogie Banjo licks, we use the pentatonic scale ascending, like I've showed you. And I would invite you to go check those lessons out. But when we think about a major scale, starting on a root and coming down, let's look at it all on a single string. So a G major scale, let's start there on the 12th fret. That's a G note. That's 1 octave above our open G string. So if we walk down a major scale, it looks like this. And that's the root, the 7th tone, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then back to the root. When we look at the pentatonic scale, we just simply take out a few of those tones. We're left with the 5 notes of the pentatonic scale. We see that in measure 3. We have the root, come down to the 6th tone, the 5th tone, the 3rd, the 2nd, and root tone. Now, it wouldn't be very advantageous to think about the pentatonic scale only on one string, but I wanted you to see it linearly. Now let's look at it on various strings, getting those very same notes. Look at measure 5. We can get those same notes this way. There's our descending pentatonic scale, playing up, coming back down. Or we could get it melodically in measure 6. We hear that a lot, don't we? Melodic piece. Oh, here's a pentatonic lick that you probably know, or have heard at least, that is made up completely of pentatonic scale notes in measure 7. Okay, so the pentatonic scale is quite popular. And you may say, well, what good does it do me to learn how to play the pentatonic scale in the key of G? Well, because once we learn how to do it in the key of G, we can take that to other chords. So as we learn backup licks like this, That's a pentatonic descending backup lick. We're about to learn it. Then we can learn how to take that to the C, and to the D, and to the A, wherever we want to take it. And we can learn how to find those licks all over the neck. If you're watching as a GoPeep member on banjobenclark.com, just scroll down, click on the next video segment that says licks. And if you're watching somewhere else, you can come over to the site and learn all this stuff too.